I should have expected that from Ousen. It's been a while actually since he has said something like that. Ousen is truly someone that cannot be trusted. But at the same time, everything he does is right. I mean, well, no, maybe not right, but what I mean to say is, it's not that Ousen is a complete unexpected character. It's more of the fact that what Ousen does, he does extremely well. And when he makes a point, he makes it also very well. So it actually is no surprise that he wants to have his own kingdom, because he sincerely believes, and perhaps justifiably so, that he is the only person that has the mind and the competence to lead people, because he considers everyone else to be beneath him, and idiots to be bureaucrats things, or whatever I was going to say. That makes me actually question, though. I mean, he hasn't even met... I don't think he has even talked to the Queen King Ousen yet, so... I wonder. But yeah, it's me, the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer. This is Kingdom Chapter 603. As the battle keeps on going, Ousen delivers a very surprising, or that is not origin, and actually managed to get the upper hand, while later telling them to discard to the left. But also creates a moment that even his enemies and allies cannot predict. And yes, not even Riboku can do that. It is described that despite being engaged with Earl Ray's men, Ousen's army began to force their way west to link up with the Demry's army, who were in the midst of their own battle. So this move was out of the blue, that it was enough to leave everyone dumbstruck. No real strategy at the beginning, although So was the first one to see it all. And with that, more chaos was filled, and even Sao didn't exactly know what they were gonna do. So, but Riboku knows that this is no gamble, and he wants to do something. And as Ousen keeps on giving orders to many more, he slowly creates a different type of position that is known as the Great Red Crane, which even in all of this chaos he managed to form. Ousen is in the Anamaster tradition. However, to everyone's surprise, sorry, I was too hasty. What I meant to say is that if he can adapt this position, then all he has to do is go back to the back, so they can have the advantage. But to everyone's surprise, including that of Sao, I mean, Fute is having the biggest eyes, Ousen actually have taken the front and walked completely forward. So, and to anyone else's surprises, Riboku answers. All of this was not to create this great crane formation, or everything else to have the advantage. No, it was all to create an opening that he could slip through and confront Riboku himself, so he could have a face-to-face talk with him. Because it's worth noting that even though they have heard of each other, they haven't met face-to-face. This is the first time. As both the Sao and the Queen are ready to jump in, they are now the commanders are now facing off against each other to have the first talk. So Riboku did realize that Ousen wanted to talk to him. So with that, they begin their batting with, of course, the different things that your troops don't have anything to feed themselves, and they only have fire in the bellies. And surrender and I'll guarantee your man's life. As Riboku bluffs by saying that the moment you set fire in Retsubu, your line was already dead. But then Ousen counters by saying that he knows that Gyu's food stores are no more, and that very soon Gyu will fall to their hands. And during this moment that Riboku actually pulls off the fact that Gyu is a shield of Sao's throat, and if it's lost, then it's true that Cao will topple. However, he says that the 160 combined years of the kingdoms of Cao's will not allow that to pass, and he assures that Yu will not fall to Ousen. However, it's here that it gets a little bit more interesting. Riboku was pulling up in history and all that stuff. And as I said in the beginning, Ousen is a man that can actually see through another person. Because here he actually says something else. What I said before, that I believe that Ousen wants to form a kingdom because he believes that only he is the one who can lead imbeciles. Because he says it like this, that history alone is not what saves a kingdom, because all of it takes is a bunch of imbeciles, and then it's more than enough to fall to its knees. And he actually knows about the Cao King, the hedonist, pedophilic, bisexual king that is the embodiment of imbecility. Well, I know that's not a word, but go with me, okay? You know what I meant. Yeah. So, and he even points out that he refused to have the mighty armies of Canton to defend here, because they were to defend the king. And according to Ousen, if they were deployed, then they would then Quinn would actually have lost. So, Ousen pressed forward, knowing that he will never that the imbecile king will never send something so forward. And then he points out the most thing that I also know. I mean, I know very much when it comes to politics or stuff like that, but it's the fact that Riboku is the one and only thing, only one, that holds Cao together. In fact, I think I said in a very early review that I think a lot of people are more loyal to Riboku than they are to the king, because Riboku is, after all, someone who is not an imbecile and not a scum. So here, Ousen for the first time actually throws this in the face of Ousen, that if you are removed from this world, then Cao without any doubt will collapse. The fact that all of his vessels are having sweat drops from that sand is that every one of them knows that it's true. And then Ousen even said the same thing, that many things wonder. Many do wonder, why do Riboku even serve such a hedonistic king like that imbecile? Is it out of duty? Is it because he is of Cao? Or is it something else? There have been some small implications that he's not only doing it out of duty, but also because he believes that the prince of the king, although that looks even more feminine than the hedonist king, is someone who actually will lead the kingdom to light. He knows that Cao is currently in a political stance of darkness, but he also believes that the Cao King's son can lead Cao to glory as long as they endure the dark times. So it's a mixture of duty and hope, so to speak. That the fact that Ousen is the one to point out that no matter how you struggle or risk your life, your efforts can bear no fruit due to the meddling of those above him. So it's the fact that even Riboku just says to that, speak plainly, Ousen, means that that is true. Ousen is pointing out the exact truth here. And then the chapter ends with the one line we all wondered what he was going to ask. And that is, join me. With your skills at my side, we can usher a whole new kingdom that's still unraveled in strength over the rest. Unfortunately, next week is a break. Riboku will without any doubt say no. Again, because of his duty. It's a foolish duty, but it's a duty nonetheless. But I think he will also say that Ousen is pitiful. Ousen doesn't have any loyalty. He only has loyalty to himself. He is good at what he does. But he is also a scum of filled with ambition. The funny thing is, all of this desire and all of that, I mean, everybody knows about that, but they can't do anything about it because, after all, Ousen is just that good. What I'm trying to say is, when Ribuku says no, then what? Is Ribuku gonna point out about the king? Does Ousen consider the king to be an imbecile? Does he consider Sei to be an imbecile? The fact that he calls those higher up to be imbeciles probably means that he doesn't like bureaucracy and he considers everyone in there to be an imbecile. So I'm pretty sure he considers Eisei's court and Eisei himself to be imbeciles as well. So that makes you question, what would happen if Eisei were to confront him? Say, after all, have a very strange charisma to change even the most cold-hearted person to follow him. The question is, can he do that to someone as arrogant as Ousen? I don't know, but to ask that of an enemy commander that you have fought for so long, that's the embodiment of arrogance, Ousen. Not to mention Shin. He has proclaimed he is the sword and shield of Eisei. There's no way he would allow this to happen. Give me your thoughts if you have any.